Hi guys, I tuned up my model a little bit, took a look at some diffusers, some examples of diffusers. I actually had one at the end of your video on the Ferrari that is your thumbnail for that video. And I noticed that none of them have this sharp edge right here. And I think what I was getting here is some turbulence, some swirling effect. So really, probably all of my test data isn't very valid with this model. So that one's gone. And this is what I made this time. I had made it out of sheet metal so that I could roll it and have actually a smooth edge. I believe what I'm going to get is a curved streamline. So I have a new model to try. Let's see what happens. Oh, also, Destan had pointed out something I hadn't thought of at all, which is there's a real good chance that atmospheric pressure isn't a good control here because the fan might be altering the pressure inside of the wind tunnel. I currently have nothing in here. Let's see what we get with no model inside of the wind tunnel. There may have been a very slight pressure drop, but it really didn't look like anything of much value. Sorry I wasn't able to make this foil out of Lexan to where you could see through it. I can't roll Lexan, or I can't give that Lexan that curve to it very easily. It would have been a lot of work in the press brake. So this is my new foil, and I still have the same setup as I had previously. These last 3 holes in the back are these 3 tubes, and this tube number 1 is going to be in the center, well, actually a little bit forward of the center of the under tray. Okay. Can't quite see it. Alright, so we'll give this a try. I feel like I really learned a lot today. This model has a considerable amount of downforce, or has quite a bit higher downforce than my previous model, and I think that is largely due to the diffuser. And I appreciate you guys helping me out. I enjoy all the comments, and they've really made me think, and they've made me dig around on the internet to learn what this thing is all about, what's going on here. So I feel like what I've discovered today is it supports your explanation that in the diffuser there actually is higher pressure than there is underneath the car. It appeared that there was an equal amount of pressure from my crude gauge. The amount of pressure entering the diffuser looked to be very similar or equal to the amount of pressure that was in the center of the under tray. I think I still have some more investigating to do there and figure out what's going on. Another thing that I thought was really interesting was that when I did the test with the wind tunnel and no foil, the air pressure never changed. It never went up, it never went down, even though there's about a 40-mile-an-hour wind going through it. So I learned the pressure differential between the 40-mile-an-hour wind inside of the wind tunnel and the atmospheric pressure outside the wind tunnel was equal. I found that very interesting. What I feel like I've learned from that is the air pressure change isn't necessarily relative to the speed, it's relative to its acceleration and deceleration. I feel like I understand what's going on in the diffuser a little bit better. The high-speed air underneath the car is colliding with slower air, or air that's being dragged along with the car, and that collision is causing the pressure to increase. Same thing was happening with the air dam, or the opposite was happening with the air dam in the front of the first model. Air was traveling at 40 miles an hour and then was squeezed down and sped up, so that separation of molecules happened and caused the pressure to drop and suck the car down. That's my feeble conclusion to this experiment. Again, I really appreciate you guys kicking me around and making me figure this out. So it's been a lot of fun, and I hope that we get the chance to learn from each other in the future.